It is time to acknowledge openly that much of Europe and the United States have been built from the vast wealth harvested from the sweat, tears, blood, and horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and the centuries of colonial exploitation. Maybe we should also admit that it cannot be easy to build confident and prosperous societies from nations that for centuries have their natural resources looted and their peoples traded as commodities. For centuries, the world has been unwilling and unable to confront the realities of the consequences of the slave trade. But gradually, this is changing, and it is time to bring the subject of reparations firmly to the fore. Granted, the current generations are not the ones that engaged in the slave trade, but that grand inhuman enterprise was state-sponsored and deliberate, and its benefits are clearly interwoven with the present-day economic architecture of the nations that designed and executed it. Reparations must be paid for the slave trade.
In his speech at the United Nations General Debate 78th session, the Ghana president mixed no words in reminding the European countries and the United States that much of the wealth they are boastful of today was nothing but stolen wealth of Africa. It may be recalled that in 1526, the first transatlantic slave voyage was completed. Immediately after that, European countries, one after another, started taking slaves in Africa. By the time Britain finally abolished the transatlantic slave trade in 1807 and the United States in 1808, more than 12 million Africans had been taken from their countries and sold as slaves to Europe and other countries. We must not forget that Africans who were victims of slave trades were strong, able-bodied youths, as slave traders wouldn't buy children or elderly people. The implication of this on the continent of Africa is that when they were most needed, our able-bodied men and women were stolen away to go and work for the development of Europe and the American continent. So far, we've not talked about the colonization of Africa, nor have we talked about neocolonialism and several evils of the leaders of the white race against Africa. Our people were stolen. The remaining people were traumatized. Our resources were looted. But what's the way out? Do you think the white race owes us reparation, as the Ghanaian president said? Let us know what you think in the comments.